Hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on a topic that's really got people talking.
Yeah, generative AI and education.
It's pretty much everywhere you look right now.
It is.
And we had a really interesting podcast called EdTech Insights that sparked this deep dive. It got into some fascinating applications for both teachers and students, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited to unpack it all with you.
Me too. It's one of those things that feels like it's like straight out of science fiction, but
Yeah,
it's happening right now in classrooms.
right, like we're living in the future. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just back up for a sec, okay? Make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
What exactly is generative AI? I mean, we hear the term all the time. But
Right. It's it's a type of artificial intelligence.
Okay,
But what makes it different is that it can like create things.
create things.
Yeah, like text, images, music, you name it.
Wow.
And it's all based on the massive amounts of data it's been trained on.
Oh, so like it's learning from all this data
Right.
and then using that
To
to
generate something new.
create something new.
Yeah.
Got it. So like ChatGPT and Dolly, those are examples of things.
Exactly. Those are like the poster children for generative AI.
Okay, yeah, those are the ones that seem to be everywhere right now.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive examples of what this technology can do.
Right. So it's not just about like creating cool pictures or writing funny poems. It's got practical applications too.
Absolutely.
And education is a really interesting area where it's starting to have a big impact.
Huge impact. I mean, think about it. Personalized learning for every student. That's like the holy grail of education.
Yeah, that's always been the dream, right? To cater to each student's individual needs.
Right. But it's so hard to do in a traditional classroom setting.
Yeah, I mean, teachers are already stretched so thin.
Exactly. But with AI, it's like suddenly that dream of personalized learning is within reach.
That's really exciting. So let's break it down a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start with how this is playing out for teachers.
All right.
I mean, how can AI actually help them in their day-to-day work?
Oh, in so many ways. Like, think about all the time teachers spend on things like creating lesson plans,
Yeah,
grading assignments, and coming up with engaging activities.
right. It's a ton of work.
It is, but AI can like automate a lot of those tasks. The podcast we mentioned, EdTech Insights, they had this great anecdote about a teacher who needed to like create a 30-minute lesson plan
Okay.
on the water cycle for fifth graders.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty specific.
It was, and she was like short on time, so she used AI to generate a whole lesson plan.
Wow, so like a complete plan.
Yeah, like with activities and assessments, the whole 9 yards.
That's incredible. So she just like typed in what she needed and
Pretty much. And it did it in seconds.
wow. That's a game changer.
It is. I mean, think about how much time that frees up for teachers.
Yeah, to actually like connect with their students.
Exactly. To focus on the human element of teaching.
Right, that's so important.
It is. And it's not just about saving time.
Okay.
AI can also help teachers personalize learning in like really specific ways.
Okay, how so?
Well, it can analyze student data, like pinpoint exactly where each student is struggling.
Oh, so like it can identify those individual learning gaps.
Exactly. And then it can even like generate customized learning materials.
Wow. So it's like
Yeah, like a tutor for every student.
a personalized tutor for every student. That's pretty amazing.
It is. It's like having an assistant who can help you meet each student's needs.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it sounds like a dream come true for a lot of teachers.
It does, but you know, there are also like some potential downsides to consider.
Right, I was just thinking about that. Like, could teachers become too reliant on these tools?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
I mean, it's important that they don't lose sight of like their own expertise and judgment.
Absolutely. AI should be a tool to enhance teaching, not to like replace it.
Right, it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. And that's where professional development comes in.
Okay, so teachers need training on how to use these tools effectively.
Yeah. Like how to integrate them into their teaching in a way that's, thoughtful and ethical.
Right, because it's not just about the technology itself, it's about like how it's used.
Exactly. It's about using it responsibly and effectively.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we've talked about the impact on teachers.
Right.
But what about students? I mean, how is this transforming the learning experience from their side?
Oh, it's pretty exciting. I mean, one of the biggest things is that it can like unleash creativity.
Oh, that's interesting. How so?
Well, imagine like a history student using AI to, visualize ancient Rome,
Oh, wow, yeah.
or a literature student generating different endings to their favorite novel.
That's so cool. So it's like giving them these tools to kind of play around with ideas and
Exactly. It's about like pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right, right. And I remember the EdTech Insights podcast mentioned a student who used AI to create like fictional dialogues between historical figures.
Oh, that's a great example.
Yeah, I thought that was so creative.
It's like bringing history to life.
Exactly. And, just like with teachers, AI can also provide personalized support for students.
Oh, absolutely. It can like explain complex concepts in different ways, offer practice problems, and even act as a virtual tutor.
Right. So for students who maybe don't have access to like one-on-one tutoring, this could be
Huge, yeah. It can really level the playing field.
That's fantastic. But, I also wonder, is there a risk of students becoming too reliant on AI?
Yeah, that's a legitimate concern.
Like, could it hinder their critical thinking skills or their ability to, like, problem solve independently?
It could if we're not careful. It's important to make sure that students are still developing those essential skills.
Right. So it's about, like, using AI as a tool to support their learning, not to
To do the thinking for them.
do the thinking for them. Yeah.
It's about finding that balance, teaching them how to use AI as a partner in their learning.
Right. So it's not about human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. It's
So
about
collaboration.
collaboration, right, working together.
Exactly. And, that brings up another interesting question.
Okay.
What happens to the role of the teacher in a classroom where AI is handling so many tasks?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, if AI can personalize lesson plans, provide tutoring, even assess student understanding, does that mean teachers are becoming, like, obsolete?
That's a question a lot of people are asking, and it's an important one to address. But personally, I don't think teachers are going anywhere.
Okay. So if they're not being replaced, then
I think their role is actually evolving.
evolving. Okay. How so?
Well, if AI is taking over some of those more routine tasks, teachers can focus on what they do best,
Like what?
like mentoring students, fostering those critical thinking skills we were just talking about,
Okay.
creating a supportive learning environment. They become more like facilitators,
Facilitators.
guides, helping students navigate this new world of AI-powered learning.
So instead of being replaced, their role is actually becoming even more important.
I think so.
That's really interesting. It's kind of a reassuring thought, actually.
Yeah, it's not about AI versus humans.
Right.
It's about recognizing that both have unique strength and can work together.
Yeah, and that together they can create like a really powerful learning experience.
Exactly.
This is really fascinating.
It is, and we've only just scratched the surface.
I know. I'm already thinking about all the futuristic possibilities.
Oh, me too. We haven't even gotten to like virtual reality classrooms and AI-powered tutors.
I know. We're going to dive into all of that and more in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait.
Me neither. This is going to be fun.
It is, yeah, we're just getting started.
Okay, so we talked about how AI can like generate personalized lesson plans
Uh-huh.
and learning materials, but how else is it like actually being used in classrooms today?
Well, one really cool application is in AI-powered tutoring systems.
Okay.
These systems can like provide students with on-demand support
Oh, wow.
whenever they need it. They can answer questions, explain concepts,
Right.
and even offer personalized feedback on assignments.
So it's like having a tutor available like 2047.
Exactly. And then there are adaptive learning platforms, which are becoming like increasingly sophisticated.
Okay, and what do those do?
Well, they can adjust to like individual learning styles and paces.
Oh, interesting.
So if you're someone who, grasps concepts really quickly,
Right.
the platform will move you ahead at a faster rate.
Oh, okay.
But if you need, more time to digest the information,
Yeah.
it'll slow down and provide additional support.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like everyone's getting
Yeah,
the support they need to like really master the material.
exactly. It's much more personalized and effective than,
Right.
the traditional one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember when I was in school, it felt like everyone was like being pushed through the material
Right.
at the same brace.
Yeah, regardless of whether they were ready or not.
Exactly. And this feels so much more like
Tailored.
tailored, yeah,
Yeah.
to your own learning style.
Exactly.
That's really cool. Okay, so we've got AI tutors, we've got adaptive learning platforms.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Oh, and we can't forget about virtual reality.
Oh yeah. VR, that's got to be huge in education.
Huge. I mean, AI is being used to create these immersive VR experiences that like bring learning to life
Wow.
in ways we could only dream of before.
Okay, like what? Give me some examples.
Well, imagine like stepping into a virtual world where you can explore ancient civilizations,
Wow. Yeah.
dissect a human heart, or even walk on the surface of Mars.
That's amazing. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it's actually happening now.
It is. It's happening in classrooms.
That's so cool. I can see how that would make learning like so much more engaging.
Right.
Especially for subjects that can sometimes feel, a bit
Right.
dry, yeah, or abstract.
Yeah.
Like to actually be able to experience those things firsthand, virtually. That's got to be like mind-blowing.
It is. And with AI powering these VR experiences,
Yeah.
the possibilities are really endless.
Oh, okay. Like what kind of things are we talking about?
Well, you could have like AI-powered characters
Oh, okay.
guiding you through the virtual world,
Right.
providing explanations, answering your questions in real time.
So it's like having a personalized tour guide
Right.
through history or science or whatever you're learning about.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff.
I'm curious though, are these AI-powered learning experiences like only available in
Yeah.
high-tech schools with like big babits?
That's a good question.
Or is this something that like all students can access?
Well, right now, access does tend to be concentrated in schools with more resources.
Okay,
But as the technology develops and, costs come down,
right.
I think we're going to see much wider adoption
Okay, that's good.
and hopefully greater equity in access.
Yeah, that's really important. I mean, it would be amazing if all students had the opportunity to like benefit from these
Yeah, absolutely.
innovative learning experiences. It really does feel like we're on the brink of like a real revolution in education.
It does.
But with any revolution, there are always challenges,
Okay.
potential pitfalls,
Of course.
things to be mindful of.
For sure.
So what are some of the big challenges that you see?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is making sure that AI is used responsibly
Okay.
and ethically in education.
Right.
We need to be mindful of potential biases,
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
That can creep into algorithms and data sets.
Right, right. Because if the data that the AI is trained on is biased,
Yeah,
then the AI itself will be biased.
exactly.
And that could lead to like some really unfair outcomes.
Absolutely. And we need to make sure that,
Yeah.
AI is being used to enhance learning,
Right,
not to control it.
right. It's a tool to empower students,
Exactly.
not to like limit their choices or their opportunities.
Right.
It's got to be about like expanding their horizons, not narrowing them.
For sure.
Okay, so bias is a big challenge. What else?
Well, it's also important to remember that technology alone can't solve all of education's problems.
Right. It's not a magic bullet.
It's not. We still need great teachers
Yeah,
who can, guide students, inspire them,
right.
help them develop those essential human skills
Okay.
that AI can't replicate.
That AI can't replicate, yeah. Like critical thinking, creativity, empathy.
Exactly.
Those are things that like humans are still much better at than machines, at least for now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's about finding that balance, right?
Always about balance.
Between human intelligence and artificial intelligence, recognizing that, they both have like their own unique strengths.
Right.
And that they can actually work together to create a truly transformative learning experience.
I completely agree. And speaking of the future of education,
Yes, I was just going to say that.
I'm eager to hear your thoughts on
Yeah.
some of the more, futuristic possibilities that lie ahead.
Oh, me too.
Where do you see this technology going in the next
Yeah.
decade or so?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
It is.
I think it's a really exciting one.
It is.
I mean, I think we're going to see AI becoming even more like integrated into the learning experience. Like imagine a world where every student has a personalized AI assistant
oh, that would be cool.
that helps them like plan their studies,
Right.
stay organized, connect with resources and support.
It's like having your own personal learning concierge.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Right.
I love that. Okay, so personalized AI assistants. What other big shifts do you anticipate?
Well, I think we're going to see AI playing a much bigger role in assessment
Oh,
and
okay.
feedback.
Interesting. So instead of like traditional tests and exams,
Yeah,
it'll be AI that's like assessing your understanding.
exactly.
Oh, wow. How would that work?
Well, imagine AI being able to assess your understanding in real time
Okay.
through your interactions with, learning materials,
Right.
virtual environments.
So it's like constantly monitoring your progress and providing feedback along the way.
Exactly.
That feels so much like less stressful
Right.
than like having to take a big high stakes test.
Yeah,
It feels more like natural.
it does. And the feedback you'd receive,
Yeah.
it wouldn't just be about, right or wrong answers. It would be about understanding your thought processes,
Oh, wow.
identifying your strengths and weaknesses,
Right.
helping you develop, a deeper understanding of the material.
So it's not just about like spitting back facts.
No.
It's about like really understanding the concepts.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I could see how that would like completely transform
Right.
the learning experience.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
But it also like raises some questions,
Oh, yeah, of course.
about the role of teachers.
For sure.
I mean, if AI is handling so much of the like assessment and feedback,
Right.
what does that mean for educators? Like, what will their role be?
That's a great point, and I think it's going to require us to really rethink the role of the teacher,
Okay.
in a pretty fundamental way.
So what are you thinking? Like, what do you see as the future of the teaching profession?
Well, I think instead of being the primary source of information
Right.
and assessment, teachers are going to become more mentors,
Okay.
facilitators.
So they'll be like guiding the learning process.
Exactly.
Helping students like make sense of all the information and feedback they're getting from the AI.
Yeah, and fostering those
Right.
essential human skills
Okay.
critical thinking, creativity, collaboration.
Yeah, all those things that like AI can't really teach.
Right, exactly.
So it's really about like that human connection, that guidance and support
Yeah,
that like only a great teacher can provide.
absolutely. But the shift in the role of the teacher,
Yeah.
it's going to require a significant investment in professional development.
Right. We need to make sure that teachers are prepared
Mm,
for this new landscape of like AI-powered education.
we do, and it's not just about, giving teachers access to these AI-powered tools.
Right. It's about training them.
It's about training them, supporting them, making
Yeah.
sure they feel comfortable
Right.
and confident using these tools effectively.
Okay, so teacher training is a really important piece of this puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely.
What other challenges do you see on the horizon?
Well, one of the biggest ones, I think, is ensuring that these technological advancements,
Yeah.
benefit all students.
Right, not just the privileged few.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of those potential biases in algorithms and data sets that we
Yeah.
were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to make sure that access to AI-powered learning experiences is equitable.
Right. It's about making sure that this revolution in education
Yeah,
doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities,
right.
but instead helps to like level the playing field.
Level the playing field, yeah.
I mean, that's a huge challenge.
It is.
It's a complex issue with like no easy answers,
Yeah,
but it's definitely a conversation that we need to be having
absolutely.
as we move forward.
As we move forward, yeah.
And it's not just a conversation for like
No.
technologists and educators, right?
No.
It's a conversation for like policymakers,
Yes.
parents,
Students,
like everyone needs to be involved in shaping the future of education
everyone.
and making sure that these like powerful technologies
Yeah,
are used to create like a more just and equitable world.
absolutely.
Well said. It really is mind-blowing to think about like how much the educational landscape could change
Oh, yeah.
in the coming years.
Yeah.
You talk about AI assistants, adaptive learning platforms,
Mm-hmm.
even virtual reality experiences.
Right.
And it just seems like those are just the beginning,
No.
I feel like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do you see things going from here? What other like
Oh,
mind-blowing possibilities are on the horizon?
Well, we talked about personalized learning pathways a bit, and I think that's really the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
To create these truly individualized learning experiences
Right.
that are tailored to each student's
Yeah.
unique needs and interests. So imagine a world where AI can plan, analyze your learning style, your strengths, your passions even,
Okay.
and then create a customized curriculum just for you.
So instead of like everyone following the same textbook
Right.
and taking the same standardized tests,
Yeah,
it's about creating like a learning journey that's
Yeah.
as unique as you are.
exactly. As unique as the learner.
Wow, that's a really powerful concept.
It is.
And it's not just about like the content itself, right?
Right.
It's about the way it's delivered.
Exactly. AI could determine the optimal pace for you, figure out which teaching methods, work best for you, even connect you with other learners
Wow.
who share your interests.
So it's like you have this like AI-powered learning coach
Yeah.
who's always there to like guide you and support you.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so we've got like personalized learning pathways.
Right.
What other like futuristic possibilities get you excited?
I think the convergence of AI and immersive technologies,
Okay.
like VR and AR, augmented reality.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We touched on that a little bit.
We did.
But I wanted to, like, go deeper.
Yeah, let's go deep. I mean, we've seen glimpses of this already, right?
Right.
Like the VR field trips and...
Yeah, like those virtual museum tours and stuff.
Exactly. But imagine taking it to like a whole other level.
Okay, paint me a picture. What could that look like?
Okay, so imagine like stepping into a virtual world
Okay.
where you can like walk through the streets of ancient Rome,
Wow. Yeah.
interact with, historical figures
Right.
and like actually experience firsthand
Right.
what it was like to live in that era.
It's like stepping into a history book.
I know, right?
Like a biology textbook.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, imagine being able to shrink down to the size of a molecule
oh,
and, like, explore the human body.
right.
That would be incredible.
It would. It would make learning so much more like visceral and
Right.
engaging.
Yeah, because you're not just, like, reading about it,
Right.
but you're, like, experiencing
You're immersed in it, and
Yeah.
these AI-powered virtual worlds, they wouldn't just be like passive experiences. You could like interact with the environment,
Right.
make choices, solve problems,
Wow.
even collaborate with other learners in real time.
So it's like taking the concept of, like, gamification
Yeah.
to a whole other level.
Exactly. And with AI guiding the experience,
Right.
it could provide, personalized challenges and feedback along the way.
So it's like it's constantly adapting to, like, how you're doing
Yeah.
and, like, pushing you to learn and grow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
But, as we've talked about before,
Mm-hmm.
it's also important to, like, be mindful of the potential challenges,
Of course.
ethical considerations.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, how do we ensure that these, like, really powerful technologies
Right.
are used responsibly and equitably?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we need to be like really grappling with now.
Sure.
As these technologies are being developed,
Mhm.
we need to be thinking about like data privacy, algorithmic bias, access
Right.
to make sure that these tools are being used to like empower all learners,
Right.
not just the select few.
Right. It's about making sure that this revolution in education
Yeah.
benefits everyone,
Benefits everyone.
not just those who are already privileged.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility,
It is a huge responsibility.
but it's one that, we can't shy away from.
we need to be having these conversations.
Yeah.
And we need to be taking action.
Absolutely. Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into
Ah.
generative AI in education, I'm left feeling incredibly excited
Yeah.
about the possibilities,
Right.
but also, like, keenly aware of the responsibilities
Right.
that come with them.
It's a powerful technology.
It is.
With the potential for, both good and bad.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to make sure that we're using it wisely.
Well said. Well said. This has been an incredible conversation.
I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
and helping us, like, really unpack this
Yeah.
complex and rapidly evolving field.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
It's moving so quickly.
It is.
Hard to keep up sometimes.
I know. But that's what makes it so exciting too.
It is, and I encourage everyone listening to, keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking those big questions.
Yeah, because the future of education is really,
Yeah.
it's in our hands.
It is.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive.
Sounds good.
Until next time, keep diving deep.